Welcome to Living on the Edge. My name is Chip Ingram, and we're getting near the end of a series. We've spent several weeks talking about experiencing God's dream for your marriage. Well, as we get near the end, we're going to get a little controversial. We're going to talk about the role of women and the role of men in marriage. And people have lots of different views on this. You know, I hear men talk and they say, women, can't live with them, can't live without them. Or I'll hear women, maybe at a coffee shop somewhere, men, they're all the same. I got news for you. God has a design where a man has a certain role and a woman has a certain role, and instead of a debate, his picture is a dance. Watch this. Let me give you the word picture here. It's the Olympics. If you're a guy like me and the Olympics come on, there's certain activities you love to watch. There's certain activities when they come on, you sort of blow off and say, I really don't want to watch those. One of the things that I never really care to watch is the mixed paired skating. Have you seen that, right? The little girls come out and, the music starts and the guy's out there like this, and he goes backwards, and then she comes and he lifts her up and goes like this, I'm thinking, man, that girl's got a lot of confidence in that guy. And then she drops him and she spins, boom, right to the music, and then they go, do, and at the end, da. Right? Now, you've all seen the skating, haven't you? It was just about like that. Well, maybe close. My daughter loves that stuff. I mean, Annie, oh, Dad. I mean, like there's a basketball game on. Oh, Dad, don't you want to watch the mixed skating with me? Well, daughters are they got that something with their dads. I've watched more mixed skating than I want to admit to. And as I watched it, I realized, you talk about athletes. You talk about strength. And it's not just, in track, when you run down like you do the triple jump or the long jump, it's one person, a lot of power, a lot of strength. They hit, they do it, boom. You can be ugly in the air. It doesn't matter. But those dancers on ice, he moves, she moves. He moves, she moves. She gets ready, he braces. She goes up in the air, spins around, and he flips her. And you know something? If he's in the wrong spot, she lands on her head. Or that one, have you seen the one where when she comes around, she starts, guys, this is impossible. Like when her leg goes right here. You know that one? And she starts doing this. And then the leg comes down and he grabs the skate and he starts doing this. Have you seen that one? And in slow motion, her head is like missing the ice like this. I'm thinking, that woman really trusts that man. And that man's really strong. And he knows where to be and when to lift and what to do. And she knows when to trust and let go. And when she needs to be strong. And all of this is done to there's something in the background, isn't there? There's music. And it's not like they're just doing it. They actually do it together to the music. And what else is true? It's not like it's the Olympics and they come on the ice and he turns to her and says, so, what do you want to do tonight? Oh, I'll go right, you go left. There was a choreographer. People get paid lots of money to do what? To mark out every single step, every single move. Now, the guy, you've got to be here, you've got to be positioned here. When this happened, you have to jump. When you jump, it has to be at this angle. You must catch her right here. If you don't catch her here, we got big problems. And every single movement of that ice dance goes perfectly to the music. Have you ever seen them where they end and the music goes bum, and then like 3 seconds later they go bum? I haven't. Don't they? They end together on time. And what I want to suggest is we ought to can the whole debate issue. Because what if you're right? What if you win the debate? It's I'm supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. No, I'm supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. That sounds a lot like we ought to go back to the last session, with arguments. The fact of the matter is, when those people are on the ice, it's beautiful. And when they get done, they're beaming. And there is a joy you can see in the man being at the right spot at the right time, and the woman doing what the woman's supposed to do, and them creating something. I actually got a confession, okay, guys? I like it now. I mean, I'm almost ashamed, but I mean, even when Annie's not there, I might sneak a little peek because it's like, this is amazing. What if you looked at your marriage as a dance instead of a debate? Instead of arguing about who's right, who's wrong, oh, that's the man's duty, that's the woman's duty. Well, if you don't do that, I'm not going to do that. Well, I've read the man is supposed to do that. Why don't you step up and catch me here? What if you said, if it's not a good dance, it's not a good dance for either of you? I put some notes together, and the first question I would ask is your marriage a dance or a debate? And I came across a quote. You ever have something in your file that looks like this? I have no idea where it came from, so anyone that I happen to be stealing from, I want you to know before God and these people, I don't know who it is, but it is the greatest little quote about marriage and a dance. And the author says a good marriage has a pattern like a dance, and it's built on some of the same rules. The partners don't need to hold on tightly because they move confidently in the same pattern. Intricate, but swift and free, like a country dance of Mozart. There's no place here for possessive clutches or clinging arms or a heavy hand, only the barest touch in passing. Now arm in arm, now face to face, now back to back. It doesn't matter which, because they know they are partners moving to the same rhythm, creating a pattern together and being invisibly nourished by it. When the heart is flooded with love, there is no room for fear, for doubt, or for hesitation. And it is the lack of fear that makes for the dance. Isn't that neat? It's the lack of fear that makes for the dance. When each partner loves so completely that he has forgotten to ask himself or herself whether or not he's loved in return, only then he loves and is moving in a music then, and only then are two people able to dance perfectly in tune with the same rhythm. And I'd like you just to suspend our 20th century debate and historical debate about the role of men and the role of women in marriage. And I'd like to say, if we looked at it as a dance, what would it look like for you to have a beautiful dance in your marriage? You notice here a great dance demands a few things. One, a choreographer, right? I mean, someone has to write out all the steps for both partners. Second, mutual submission to his steps. I mean, when they're on that ice, I don't think the girl can say, I'm not jumping then. Okay, I'm not jumping then. And he says, okay, you don't jump, next time I won't catch you. I mean, that's not going to work. Someone has to write out all the steps. Both partners have to submit to the choreographer. They have to, it's got to be real clear. When do you jump and when do I catch? And, you know, I've never seen it. Have anyone seen where the guy jumps and the girl catches? 225 pounds on a 115-pound little girl. That probably would not be pretty. So, you know, they got to know what's going on. And then after clarity of roles, there's practice, practice, and more practice. That, what they do that looks so effortless, that looks so beautiful, I mean, it's months and years on the same routine and practicing and practicing and practicing. And by the way, you know, I've seen some of the footage, you know, when they interview them, where they show, like even in warm-ups, where they fall. So you never get a dance like this without some bumps on the head and your partner not catching you at the right time or you stepping on their toe. A great dance develops some pretty neat stuff, though. A great dance develops an incredible team. I mean, when I say Fred Astaire, you think of Ginger Rogers. Now, for those that are under 40, they're going to think, Fred Astaire, who is that guy? But, you know, we could go to every era. It develops a great team. Second, it develops balance, timing, rhythm, and strength. What if your marriage was characterized by balance, good sense of timing, what you do, when you do it, a sense of rhythm and strength?